So after yesterday's video, everyone's been wondering, Connor, why did you leave college? Well, today is the day we answer this. Start this episode off by saying that I think college is incredibly important and that I wouldn't have stopped going to college if I didn't have to. See, I believe 100% that education is super important, and I think that everyone should be able to have an education. And that doesn't have to do with my political stance, it's just an idea. Everyone should learn something. And if you've been watching this show for a while, you remember when I was at Belmont, I was studying theology, psychology, and then at the end, entrepreneurship. I was also part of the honors program, so I'm a bit of a nerd when it comes to education. I can discuss Marvel as well as I can discuss Aristotle's views of ethics as well as I can Marvel Endgame, what that means to the end of the cinematic universe. If you haven't seen that, guys, come on, okay, not to get sidetracked. And I came out to JP Catholic because I wanted to start studying business, because business is something that fascinates me. I always wanted to do youth ministry until I accidentally took a business class, and then I got hooked into the idea of business. And honestly, I love doing business, the delegation, the marketing aspect, especially the whole personal connection, the relational ministry side of it. Business is amazing. Don't get me started. The problem was I really wasn't learning much in JP Catholic. Honestly, they don't really have the situation in place for transfer students to flourish all that well. Just with how transfer stuff works out, and since they have a full quarter system, it's a great idea, but a lot of things are wonky, especially in my case when I'm coming over and I have all these different things. And the biggest issue is experience outside of school. See, I kind of fall into this weird spot where I have a lot of experience with what I'm doing, and that's not just that's not bragging at all. That's just saying this is what I've been doing for my life. Then we kind of run into an issue where I wasn't really ready to have to take fundamental understanding classes again, and it kind of threw me for a loop. Quick rant, I don't really understand why we can't just have an entry exam for every single subject and say, you know what, if you know everything, here's your degree. School should be about getting an education. So for that reason and other reasons I don't want to go into because I'm gone from the school so it doesn't matter, I decided that it would be best if I put a hiatus on my undergraduate education. That being said, I applied for grad school because why the heck not? See, my thought process was I have a great understanding of theology, I have a great understanding of people, I have a, depends who you ask, understanding of maturity. So I realized that a master's program is probably the only place I'm going to be able to get a deep, super in-depth understanding where I'm actually going to be strengthened and deepened in my faith, instead of just learning credo means I believe, and did you know that Jesus loves you? Don't get me started on our religious education system, I'm going to lose it. So yeah, I've applied to multiple grad schools, including the esteemed Augustine Institute, which is dream school. If I can get into that, I would start crying immediately. And here's the problem, you usually can't go to grad school unless you have an undergraduate degree, so I'm kind of putting it all on the line, hoping that I can get an exception, but you know what, we'll see what happens. At the end of the day though, you kind of just have to put it in God's hands and say, look, here's what you want me to do. And I know that even if I don't get into school, I'm still going to be studying. If you just started summer break, or it's been a while since you've been at school, pick up a book and start educating yourself. Now, I know it's not the same as getting a formal education, but reading works by great authors like JP2, C.S. Lewis, Fulton Sheen is really going to just absolutely kickstart. And if you're in a relationship, read Fulton Sheen, 3 Get Married with Your Spouse. I've said this 30 times on this channel. It's an incredible thing. You'll learn so much about the human person and what it means to be loved, and it's beautiful. So yeah, I technically dropped out, but at the same time, it's kind of just a hiatus in my education. We'll see where it goes. And honestly, I can always jump right back in later on. We don't know what life's gonna take me. God has a weird way with my life of just saying, you know what, we're just gonna go round and round and round and round, and here's where I'm gonna put you here, and then I'm gonna whoop, go to California, and then whoop, you gotta figure something else out. No. At the end of the day, I just have to remember, if it's God's will, it'll happen. If it isn't, it doesn't matter. And yeah, I wish the first school I joined would have worked out for a full 4 years, but you know what? Then I would never have met my girlfriend. I would never have started my ministry. There's so many things I am grateful for, and God has blessed me with all of these weird twists and turns He's thrown at me, that even if I'm unable to finish a full 4-year education in the undergraduate study, God's got me. I know He does. But also, disclaimer, kids, if you're in school, don't think about dropping out. Stay in school. Learn, develop your mind, learn how to think. If you're not reading Aristotle, read Aristotle, but do it under tutelage, because otherwise it's gonna make no freaking sense. So that's today's episode. I wanted to make sure you guys kind of understood where I am. And tomorrow I'm going to be talking about my youth ministry, so haha, get ready for a super ranting Connor. It's a lot of fun. I am honestly completely blessed for what I'm doing to be even able to try any of the stuff that I'm doing. Remember, God has planned for you though, so get ready. Make sure you're hitting that like and subscribe button to watch all of the videos. So this is day 2 of the 365 days of evangelization. Let's wrap this up, and remember, as it was in the beginning, is now, and ever shall be, rise up and live.